Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are very well in all your ways and that you're moving into living your best life, living in your own terms, that you're living in your sovereignty, because the world is facing a global coup d'etat from the architects of the New World Order agenda. They've taken over the Billionaires Club. They've taken over, the World Economic Forum. They have penetrated every single government. They are holding a lot of presidents hostage, like the president of Kenya. And they were really pushing to implement the New World Order. And one of the biggest things they were relying on was Kamala Harris becoming president. And so a Trump presidency is a big blow to the globalists and the New World Order agenda. Now, I've talked about this before. I talked about this when Trump won the last election, and I talked about how Trump and the globalists were like two secret societies at war. Trump's secret society was against the collapse of the divided states in order to collapse the global system, because they've made kind of the divided states the center of the world in terms of economy, in terms of all kinds of things, the superpower of the world. And when Biden was still even able to talk, he was really talking a lot about, climate change lockdowns and coming into other lockdowns and all these other things that they were planning, family. We saw earlier in the year around May where they tried to pass the World Health Organization mandate, which would have given the globalists power over the constitutions and the sovereignty of nations across the world. And that was stopped. I even feel, family, although we all know that the Biden's presidency was actually Obama's third term. And we are very lucky that somehow Biden malfunctioned. And it was like Obama was not able to fully flesh out as one of the architects of the New World Order agenda. He was unable to fully flesh out and fully carry out the agenda. But in order for the New World Order to accelerate their plan, they really needed the divided states, and they really needed Kamala Harris in power. And a lot of African countries were actually praying that Trump won, because it meant less interference from the divided states. Just before Kamala lost, family, Kenya already had the CIA visit us twice. They forced the extradition of, I think, some Turkish people and some other guys, but they were also trying to get a base in the northern part of Kenya called Wajir. We were passing all kinds of bills, globalist bills, family. Bill Gates was given immunity. They were even now getting ready to roll out the vaccine in December. And so a lot of countries were really in between a rock and a hard place in terms of the bullying of the divided states and the arm twisting to make countries and nations align. And we're still dealing with a lot of that here in Kenya. They've come up where they want to, you've already seen, they want to put digital IDs in our children. That's Bill Gates, that's a globalist agenda. They want to monitor all our phones. There's been so many bills that try to control our agriculture, Bill Gates' agenda, to make farmers, to basically kill small farmers and colonize our agriculture. It is beyond a neo-colonial agenda. It was about creating a prison planet, family. And there's a clip I'm going to share at the end of this where one of the former Vatican, those guys that dress in black, I don't know the hierarchy there. He also reveals this thing where they wanted one world government, one world religion, one world money system. So there was a lot that was trying to move us into the digital money system. And I'm not saying that now Trump is in, that all this stops. But the globalists have suffered a major blow, a major blow. And with the amount of damage they've been doing to run down the divided states in the last 4 or 5 years, Trump has a lot of work to do to get the divided states back. They have knowingly allowed in so many gangs. The idea was to collapse the divided states and move the center of the world to Asia or somewhere. Like, but some were saying China or whatever. We recently saw Russia come out and say that they are going to now offer asylum to the people of the world who are standing up against this neo-colonial system. So there is a lot happening, family, with this global coup d'etat. And what is required of each and every one of us is not only to stand in our individual sovereignty, because they're also trying to take over our minds and our hearts. Ever since COVID, we've seen the outcome of the original plan of the CNNs of this world, which was to become tools for global MK Ultra, global mind control, global wizardry and magic by pushing negativity 24 hours a day, pushing death, pushing destruction, pushing wars, pushing starvation, pushing that negative image about Africa 24/7. This was not by accident. This was by design. And I'm telling you, family, they came this close. If Kamala had gotten in, we were fucked. Let me just put it like that. Excuse my French. But we were really, really going to be screwed. And a lot of countries were going to immediately fall because the plans had already been set. And they need to move with haste. In fact, that's why they've moved with so much haste, especially in 2024. Because, first of all, they didn't think that Biden would malfunction at the time he did. Obama actually thought he'd see out his third term. Obama has not been welcomed very well in Kenya. Now, Kenya has been at the center of their agenda, especially on the motherland, of course, to try and push back what BRICS and what Russia is doing. But it's deeper than that. Because Kenya happens to be custodians of something that is extremely power, and we have the hidden nation. I've talked about this so many times, family. But now what is required of each and every one of us is for us to stand in our individual sovereignty, and then for us to stand up against the invasion of our freedoms in our country's family. Have you seen how much chaos? And this happens every time before an election. There's been so much chaos across the world, from Martinique to Mozambique to Botswana to Kenya to Ghana to the divided kingdom. There's been so much instability as these guys tried to force feed their agenda on the puppet presidents they control because they have their secrets. But the world has been bought a little time, family. And I can see a massive reversal happening to this New World Order agenda. They have failed to capture the world, but that does not mean that they will stop. There are other secret societies at play, but the globalists are the most insidious, family. They're the ones who are worshipping Moloch, the Canaanite god, who used to take the gift of the first child as an offering. What we're seeing on the entire earth is a clashing of gods, what we would have called back in the day a clashing of altars. A lot has been done to move the world away from certain gods, because the voice of the people is the voice of God. So if you can get, and that's what I call the group consciousness, the group narrative. So if you can get people to buy into a certain idea, like Mzungu Jesus, re-engineered Christianity, which is actually like a form of Luciferianism, the way it's preached, and all these things. You actually weaken the spiritual structure of Mama Earth, and that's what they've been trying to do. They've been just trying to collapse all the royal families, all the governments into one New World Order agenda, but we've been bought time, and we must make the most out of this time. Let me know what you think in the comments below, family. Thanks to every single person that supports us on Patreon and sends us love donations through PayPal. We appreciate love you so much. And if you're looking to relocate to the motherland, family, we have started a relocation consultation service where we help you get a grip of what it means, how to move to Africa, how to get your residency permits, how to work, how to move with your children, the schools to pick for them, how to buy property, how to settle, and all these things. If you're interested, definitely get in touch. mumbi.seraki@gmail.com. Tuko pamoja.